Afua, tell us, what can you expect from the talks with President Zelenskyy and the Prime Minister Starmer today?
These talks are less about finalising a peace deal. Those talks have been going on with the US President's team, with the United States team and the Russian teams inadvertently over the past week in Miami. These talks are particularly about the Ukraine shoring up that support from Europe and its allies, from the UK, that coalition of the willing that we've been hearing about over the past 10 months. It's just about making sure that that support is still in place. So should any ceasefire deal come to fruition, Zelenskyy knows what part Europe is going to play, if any, whether that's a peacekeeping force, whether that's continuing to make sure Ukraine has the right weapons and munitions it needs to continue the war if necessary, or to bring the war to a close. Starmer and his allies, the rest of the European leaders who are perhaps going to be present later on in the day at this meeting, it's their deal, or they're going to be all about making sure the Ukraine can respect its sovereignty, making sure that it can keep the land that is theirs, that it doesn't lose too much in any ceasefire deal. So like I say, this meeting in London, less about actually finalising a deal and more about making sure that the UK and Europe remain allies and shore up that safety net for the Ukraine if any deal should be done.
Can you also tell us what's the latest on the peace talks to end the war in Ukraine with the US, Russia, and of course Ukraine?
Yeah, these peace talks we've been hearing about for the past couple of weeks. It seems that sometimes we're getting to a point where it could be a breakthrough and then there's not. You know, Vladimir Putin talking about the length of the talks, saying that it's taken 5 hours. We had the US President Donald Trump in the past few hours saying that President Zelenskyy hasn't read the peace deal. The US have come up with this 27-point peace plan. We don't really know the details of that. And of course, that's what's being picked apart in those meetings. What bits one side is going to say yes to, one side is going to say no to. So 3 days of negotiations took place in Florida. We still don't have a finalised deal come out of that. There's definitely pressure to get a quick resolution, especially from the United States. We know that President Trump gets bored very quickly with things. And his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, has actually been talking about this and saying that the US president may move on from trying to get peace in the Ukraine if it doesn't happen quickly. It's coming off his radar. It's something that he's becoming bored with. He's looking to move on to the next thing. So as it stands, the deal is far from done. We may be in the final furlong, the final stretch of it, but that stretch seems to be very, very long. And at the moment, these negotiations are ongoing.
All right, Afua Hagan, thank you so much for bringing us the update on that. And like you said, the negotiations are ongoing, so we're going to look out to see how that turns out.